During the last 8 or 9 weeks I've been filming the progress of our garden through May and June. Tomorrow is the last day in June, so let's go back to early May. The dandelions have already finished and the bog beans are opening around the pond, and Ramson's, the wild garlic, is spreading every year. The spring borders are looking good with red campion and our native bluebells. And not forgetting the honesty. I've noticed a common spotted orchid growing in the lawn amongst the yellow rattle. Over the last couple of years, white nettle has become established. But the magpies are a pest. On the 13th of May, a threatening storm, but it didn't come to much, it was just a shower. A couple of days later there was loads of activity around the blue tip box, so the eggs must have hatched around the time I estimated. The male was also feeding the female. I set the trail camera up to film the great tits, which were also feeding their young chicks. But they were always pestered with the sparrow and one cat in particular. It's the last week in May and the garden really now has come on and developed really. It's nearly at its best. We've had a few days away and when we've come back the orchids round the pond have doubled in size. In fact the first one will be opening in the next couple of days. Hello Buster, is it getting a bit warm for you? Around this time, we have the usual garden flowers at their best. At the front of our house, the scree garden was also coming up to its full colour and performance. We love our small wildlife garden, and in the warmer months it becomes a room extension to our home. Back in our wildlife garden, we had a good showing of wood anemones and lily of the valley. I'm just clearing the side of the stream out. We can hear it, but we can't see it. Around the 23rd of May, the water crowfoot was opening. Every day the weather became hotter. Across the surface of the ponds, small bubbles were popping. These underwater plants were reaching their full strength, giving oxygen to the water. I moved the trail camera to see how the blue tits were faring. About a week earlier, there was no activity at the great tit box. Looking inside, all but 2 of the chicks had died, so I placed the 2 survivors in the blue tit box. It was their only chance, and the blue tits carried on feeding them as their own. Oh, wonderful. Other one was sticking its head out, it's been feeding mother.
Oh, were it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's there. They're both in the nest box. One's just gone in.
Come out.
We've gone over there.
Yeah. Up the lane from our house The buttercup meadows have been the best for years. It's been just too hot to walk out, but there's always something interesting to watch, like the solitary bee looking for a hole to lay her eggs in. The white-neckled flowers continue to attract the bees, but it's been a poor year for the ragged robin. It's been just too dry. In the last few days of May, damselflies were fluttering around the pond, and the first broad-bodied chaser dragonfly had emerged from our pond. The lupins are always favourites for the bees. Let's watch the blue tits again. They're visiting the nest box around every 30 seconds.
Yes, I think they might be fledging in a couple of days.
I didn't like disturbing the blue tits, but I just had to know how the young were faring. It looked like they were all pumped up and ready to fledge, including the two great tits. We are now nearly overrun with jackdaws in our area, but they couldn't get at the chicks. Today there's plenty of activity. You can hear them. I think they have fledged. You can hear them in the trees, and I've just seen one over there in the conifer hedge. Yes, it's all empty.
So
We've had a perfect fledging. They've all gone.
They've all gone.
They've all gone.
So
That's
great,
good news. It's been a success story.
great tits as well. I can hear them calling on top of that edge there.
Oh, I think they're in the garden next door. Big tree there.
It's so frustrating, is this? There's a cat in the garden and they dive bombing it. The young birds were in the shrubs and in next door's garden. It's the 22nd of June and our wildlife garden has really got grown over. It's an absolute jungle. So William, our youngest grandson, has volunteered today to come and help me and cut it back and knock it into shape and make it a bit more loved. Well, you can see, William, these paths are grown over, so we're going to cut minimum off to open it up and make it look a bit tidier. We'll have to do things all over the garden. It's completely closed in. And when we get up to the river here, you can see the river also needs just pulling back a little bit, doesn't it? Because all this lot's grown over and we haven't the benefit of the river. So we pull minimum out, open the stream up and it'll look a lot better. William has been a great help and I can concentrate on the filming. William is also great with the camera controls. These are wild southern marsh orchids and I don't want them buried, so I'm carefully just cutting back round them to make sure they don't get covered up, because they're just opening now and they're coming out to the best.
These lupins are seeded, so I'm cutting them back.
We haven't mowed the lawn since April, and it's surprising, in this little patch of ground where the grass has grown, I've found at least 5 orchids, little common spotted orchids, that wouldn't have been allowed to flower if I'd have mowed it down to grass level. And there's at least 2 or 3 orchids here, and they're growing amongst the yellow rascal. Now the plants have been carefully trimmed back, we've found a few more orchids.
Temperatures are really rising right now and I think it's started a heat wave. At least we can get to the shed now. I've cleared the path. I've just done my dinner and now I'm about to wade up the river, pulling weeds from either side. Taking particular care on here because we've found some common spotted orchids.
And now the next job, mowing the grass around our small patch of wildflower meadow. The last job for today, thinning out the garden ponds. They are choked with pondweed.
This is the last lot of weed for the day. We found some dragonfly larvae. We found another one here and this one will go back in the pond as well. We're going to grab this now and leave it at the side of the pond for a good 24 hours.
This allows the aquatic creatures to crawl back into the pond. At this time of year, I'm glad we've got a north-facing garden, because I've just looked at the thermometer and it's nearly 33 degrees centigrade. Come on, Marcel, just cool you off. Is that feeling better? Feeling cooler now? Don't you like it? The heat wave continued, so it's a couple of lazy days observing our garden. "5 a.m. and on the 26th of June a thunderstorm, but it's short-lived with only 7mm of rain. We finished off the month with one visit to our garden at 11 p.m. It was a hedgehog, a very welcome visitor, but I couldn't film it. The few thundery showers we've had hasn't been enough to top up the ponds, but there's enough water in the water butts to partially fill them. Tomorrow it's the last day in June, so I'm going to end this video now and hopefully come back to you all at the end of August.